Welcome to the Madroit Podcast. We bring you bite-sized marketing and sales insights to help you level up, no matter the size of your business. Tune in and answer the big question, what does marketing actually do?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Madroit Podcast. Today, we are diving into a marketing nerdy topic here. Today we are covering zero-party data. We're talking about specifically privacy-friendly personalization and how that builds trust. So as we look to dive in today, first off, we're just going to, just with the title of our podcast here is what the heck is zero-party data? So let's define it real quick. So zero-party data is data your customer voluntarily gives you. So it's not tracked in the background. You're not going to get any big red flags that are saying like, hey, do you accept this? Do you not? It's not scraped from cookies. It's straight up. They tell you their preferences, interests, or needs. Pretty simple, right, Win?
Yeah, I'd say simple and important.
Very important. So just a few examples that we pulled just from our own experiences could be something like an HVAC company saying, what's your biggest concern this season? Is it air quality? Is it the cost of heating? Or is it system reliability? A law firm offering a quiz like, what type of legal help do you most need right now? So Win, any others that come to mind?
Yeah, it could be something they're interested in hearing more information about, an email subscription with different categories they want to subscribe to, or one you mentioned is just what services are interesting to you, and potential survey of like, if we added a service, what would be out of these three the most impactful for you?
The next question with this, and I feel like we ask this often on these episodes, but it's really important, is why does it work and how does it go about building that trust?
Yeah, it's 2025. People are burnt out of tracking and people tracking them, every website tracking them, asking for way too much information that someone's not willing to share. People expect their info to be misused or sold or leased, quote unquote. No, we don't sell your information. Okay, they say that and they lease it for a year, but that's why people are burnt out on this. So one thing, it builds trust, and to say you're going to use this information respectfully and saying it's only for us is a really good little micro piece of copy that if you're actually doing that, really helpful and shows people that you care about their information. You're not using it for malicious intent or anything like that.
Exactly. And I think as it pertains to not only the user, we talk to folks that are on the other side of that coin where it's like, hey guys, that all sounds great. How in the world do you expect me to implement that at my business who's never done it that way before? The key is, can we make this practical? And the truth of the matter is you don't need some type of like massive tech stack in order to be able to do this. So just a few tactical examples that we can provide to you guys is adding a preference selector to your email signups, for example, or even a type form quiz on your website. What type of lawn care package fits you best? And then you can collect more information about your property. But this is now becoming a very easy, stress-free way for users to give you information. So now when you contact you contact somebody in the springtime next year and you're saying, hey, Mr. Smith, I heard that you're interested in lawn care. Now you're saying, hey, Mr. Smith, I heard that you have 1.5 acres and you're looking to have a big landscaping project down in the back right corner of the yard with a water fountain and what have you. It's way more personal. And I gave you all that information. Yeah. So, and at the end of it all, I think the more information you're able to get out of customers and the more they're willing to give to you, honestly, all of these things can drive all of your marketing tools, right? Be it segmented emails, be it SMS text messages, be it retargeting, but it's all done with way more context because you're getting way more out of your end users.
Yeah, it's a great point. And something you mentioned a day or two ago, Jordan, really important now, like with it being 2025 and information being in so many different spots and so many privacy things, you can't track everything and pull it all into one platform. You have to, with the data you have, paint the best picture you can. And it's not always as clear as we would like it, right? If we have 100 leads, we know where 100 leads came from, and 50 of them turned out to be customers. So we know out of those 50 came from this one source. It's not like that. It's percentages. So to be able to collect as much information as you can and use that is really impactful. And talk about zero party data, asking what preferences someone have, asking them where they came from. How did they find you? Again, you're not going to get 100% of people to answer that, but if you can get 50% to collect that, or 25%, just to get an idea of what's working, what sources are working, all this information is really helpful if you use it.
Oh yeah. And it's all there. You just have to be able to put it together, ask the right questions to bring it out of folks. So now we've talked about ways to do it. If you're starting as a small business, how are you getting started one?
First of all, I'm starting day one if I can. And if you didn't start day one, I'm starting today with something as simple as collecting an email address and name and maybe phone number for your business for them to subscribe. Even if you have nothing great to offer yet and say at some point we're going to start this, sign up. People will do it and you can collect that. So you can use something like Google Forms, but most websites have a form builder built into them. We use on our sites a nice one and collect all that information in the back end and can do a lot of stuff with automation. But anyway, just start collecting it however you best can. And a form is a great place to start, of course.
Yeah. And I think the less cumbersome you can make it on your end user, the better off it is. They're already at your website. So simple things like, what service are you looking for help with today? What are you planning for your next service? What matters most when you have XYZ problem or whatever?
Actually, one thing with that, you asking those questions out loud, it's no different than if you were talking to a new lead or potential client or customer on the phone.
Yep.
As you or someone on your team is answering the call and asking these questions, where are you putting that information? Should go into a CRM or FSM tool if you're a service-based company. Whatever your client management system is, that should be going in there. And this is that zero-party data.
You could not be any more correct. How conversational it is, how easy that is to have when you're with a client or a customer and they're giving you that information in that space, in that environment. You can ask all of those questions in the same way and make it very seamless, make it very easy. Give them a drop down to select from. If they have another option, give them the opportunity to express what they're looking for. They'll do it, but you just have to give them the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
So we talked about making it easy. We talked about making it efficient and trying to streamline your process. But we all know that there are plenty of situations out there where people are doing it in not a great way. We won't say wrong, but in not a great way. And I think one of the main factors in this is some people try to gather too much too fast.
Yeah.
So instead of, and I love this line I heard the other day, in order to get an applicant, sometimes you don't need to have them fill out the entire application. Sometimes you just need somebody to tell you that they're interested. So I think things like long forms, really long, really intense forms that make people give every piece of information to be able to get something that they may or may not go with in the end, that just seems like a chore. It seems really difficult. Irrelevant stuff. But a lot of times there can be fluff, and sometimes that can come across as the company trying to showcase their expertise. I already think you know what you're doing. You don't need to prove it to me in the questions that you're asking in the form.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people collect too much too early, and it's information they need if they do end up moving forward, but it can be a multi-step process in getting that information. Great example, just lawn care. Are you interested in name, phone number, email, maybe zip code or address? Zip code's great because it's zoomed in to where they're at, but it's not their exact home address yet. Talk to them. That's your process. Get them a quote. Then you need the rest of the information. You can either collect that over the phone or via another form on the website after they've had a chance to speak with you, right?
100%. And I think if you're asking them for it, please make sure that you use it, right? Like, hey, when it comes back to the irrelevant stuff that I just mentioned right there, sometimes your form can have 10 different things on it. So you better believe if I'm filling out all 10 of your form fill entries, then I need to see that come to fruition in some way, shape, or form. Because if I'm giving you the exact measurements and things like that, and you come to me and the first thing that you ask when you show up at my property is, what were the measurements? We're going to have a problem right off the bat. So,
yeah, I see that a lot too. Some of these forms on service provider sites, especially local services, they're so long. They collect everything and it's a big turnoff. Like I get it. It fills out everything and puts it in their FSM CRM tool, right? But it's so much so early. And I think they lose clients that way.
I would agree 100% because I think in the process of the sales journey and the buyer's journey, right? As a buyer, as a consumer, I want to give you the information that you need for us to begin the conversation. I'm not looking to sell you the farm the first time I come to your website, right? So let's start it off slow. Let's build, and then we can eventually get to the point of, okay, we're ready to do business together. I think as we think about how to obtain this information and how to obtain these opportunities for your business, the real other side of this is what happens after you obtain it. How are you leveraging it? How are you putting it into campaigns? How are you making it so it's pertinent to the customer so that they feel like even though you got 200 leads that day, that they're the most important one. So
yeah, like they actually heard you.
Honestly,
You alluded to earlier, sometimes people ask you the same question they asked via a form. Like how many people give their security code or their birthday on a customer support call just to be asked again for that, all of that same information, right? That's the experience. And we don't want that because we all hate calling customer service.
Yep.
So we don't want that experience for our clients and customers.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. All right. So when we've covered all the bases here, put a bow on it, take us away.
Here's the main takeaway. If you want to personalize your marketing in a way that builds trust, gets more conversions, and respects your customers and clients, zero-party data is the way to go, and you need to start collecting it now, day one or now.
I agree wholeheartedly. So thanks everybody for tuning in. See you next time.
That's all for this episode of the Madroit Podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions that you want us to talk about on the pod or want to get in touch with us, please visit madroitmarketing.com/podcast. Thanks for listening.